Hey guys, my name's Tom Mathis, and I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic. I'm really glad to be here. It's been a miracle happened in my life, through my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm just glad to be here, man. It's been a rough road. It hasn't been easy. Um, I grew up in a good home, had good, loving parents, and two younger siblings, and um, at a young age, about the age of 9, I was sexually molested, and for about 3 years by a family friend, and that's something I really never dealt with, and I let it, affect me in many different ways. Of course, one was trust, and I kept that secret with me for most of my life, and tried to cover it up, the best I could to not feel that pain and that hurt, and never understood why something like that would ever happen to me. I was too ashamed to even, talk about it. I was threatened with my life and my family's life, and it was a very difficult time, for me throughout my whole life dealing with that. Um, I had a pretty good childhood up to that point, and after that, I was just trying to cover up my feelings, to be numb, not to feel what I was feeling. Graduated high school, had a successful career in football. I ended up getting a scholarship to football to East Central University in Ada, Oklahoma. My freshman year that I was attending, I blew out my knee in practice, and ultimately that's where I started my addiction. I got hooked on pain pills, and I ended up dropping out of college. I was never able to recover from my injury, so I got academically ineligible, by going out and partying and not attending to my schoolwork. So I ended up dropping out of college and going to work in the oil field. Um, you know, um, my addiction spiraled out of control really quick. I went from taking one pain pill and it making me sick to my stomach to where I had to have up to 50 a day. And just a pool of misery, of what I put myself through over and over and over again, not only for myself, but for the people I love the most. Um, Amongst my addiction, my intentions were never to hurt my loved ones, but that's what we do as addicts. You know, we put things before our loved ones. We put things before ourselves. It's a very, very selfish act, and that's all we know. Um, so I hurt a lot of people throughout my addiction: family, friends, um, ex-wife, kids. I rocked along for quite some time with my addiction, until I hit rock bottom. I had gotten into some trouble. I ended up going to prison, so I did a little bit of prison time, and that's what ultimately helped me sober up from the opiates. I got out of prison, and things were going along pretty good. Of course, I never had a problem with drinking. Just wasn't my cup of tea. But I started drinking socially and with friends and a girl I had met on weekends and whatnot. And I just traded one addiction for another. Is what that boiled down to. Started drinking pretty heavily. It progressed into the point where I had to have 2 or 3 shots of vodka in the morning, even to get out of bed to go to work and just to make it through the day. That addiction right there ultimately ended me out on the street, living homeless, just looking for that next bottle, living under a underpass, wherever I could lay my head to stay dry, stay out of the weather, dumpster diving, hoping I can find something to eat. It's no way to live. I was numb to the world. It got to a point in my life where I thought I'd be better off not being here anymore. I didn't want to live no more. I didn't want to be here no more. And by the grace of God, I had a police officer stop and check on me, and that's where it all started for me. I probably left quite a bit out. What's happened throughout my life, but in a nutshell, that's what happened to me. I ended up going to a rescue, a crisis center in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and they ultimately got me in contact with Reckless Saints, because I told them I needed some long-term help. I knew a 28-day program or even a 60-day program wasn't going to be enough for me, because I know me, and so they got me in contact with Jordan Parker at Reckless Saints, and they helped me get into a treatment center, the CARE program in Jay, Oklahoma. And with the grace of God and with the CARE program with Reckless Saints, I was able to restore my relationship back with God, and it ultimately saved my life. Here I am, I'm 13 months clean and sober. I've got my kids back in my life. I've got a lot of good opportunities, going in the future for me. I've got a good job now. I'm here with Reckless, and man, life's good and God's great, and I'm truly blessed. I'm humbled throughout everything that's happened to me in my life. I'm just glad to be here to be able to give somebody else that opportunity that I got, and that opportunity, and that to have that hope. Because when I got to CARE, I had nothing. I had a backpack that had a blanket, a jacket, and a pair of pants in it. That's all I had in the entire world. I didn't have no self-esteem. I had no self-respect, no integrity. The only thing I had was just this smidge of willingness to change, because I didn't want to live that way no more. And that's all it took for me. I applied myself. I learned. I acquired a lot of tools, and it saved my life. So now God's working in my life, and He's working miracles. And each day, I try and I strive to be a better person than I was yesterday. And now I'm here, and I'm trying to give that gift to another person that's struggling, because we got a lot of people out there that need help, and everybody deserves a chance just like me. And ultimately, you have to keep Christ number one in your life, because everything that's happened to me, if it wasn't for Christ, none of this would be possible. So you got to reach out your hand and say, hey, I need help. There's a lot of good people out here that's willing to help, but you have to be willing to help yourself. And the Reckless Saints is a really great organization. That's what they do. They go out and preach the gospel, and they help addicts get into recovery. And they'll welcome you with open arms and love you. And that's what we need. We need somebody to love us. And that's what they did for me, and I'm truly grateful for that.